This happened to me and my wife Evelyn last Christmas. We'd been married for 6 years, and we decided to celebrate our anniversary by going back to Sacramento, the city where we got married. Our anniversary is December 25th, and we wanted to attend midnight mass at St. Mary's, the same church where we'd said our vows. We were staying at a Holiday Inn about 15 miles from the church. Before we left that night around 8:30 p.m., I went to start the car, and nothing happened. Dead. I popped the hood and noticed the positive terminal on the battery was loose. I tightened it with the metal end of my key fob, and the engine turned over fine. I should have taken that as a warning. I didn't. Our 5-year-old daughter Zena was with us, excited to stay up late. The mass was beautiful, packed with families, candles everywhere, Christmas hymns. We left right at midnight with everyone else. The parking lot was chaos, cars everywhere, people hugging and wishing each other Merry Christmas. I pulled onto the main road heading back to the hotel. That's when I noticed the headlights. A black SUV, tinted windows, staying exactly 3 car lengths behind me. When I changed lanes, it changed lanes. When I sped up, it sped up. My hands started sweating on the steering wheel. "Slow down, Greg," Evelyn said. "You're going 15 over." I couldn't tell her. Not with Zena in the back seat. I just gripped the wheel tighter and pushed the speed up to 70. The SUV matched me. We were on a dark stretch of highway now, barely any other cars, just us and them. I took a sudden exit. The SUV took it too. My heart was slamming against my ribs. I made a quick right, then another right, weaving through a residential area. I killed my headlights for 10 seconds, turned down a side street, then flicked them back on and merged onto a different highway. I checked the rearview mirror. Nothing, just darkness. I'd lost them. "Greg, what the hell are you doing?" Evelyn asked, her voice sharp. "Thought I missed our turn," I lied. I forced myself to breathe. We were okay, we were fine. I merged back onto the main highway toward our hotel. 10 minutes passed. My pulse started to return to normal. Then Zena spoke up from the back seat. "Daddy, I need to go potty. Really bad." I looked at the clock. 12:47 a.m. We were still 8 miles from the hotel, driving through an empty stretch with nothing but fields on either side. "Can you hold it, sweetie?" Evelyn asked. "No, Mommy, it hurts." Evelyn looked at me. "We need to pull over." Every instinct screamed no, but I couldn't explain why. Not without terrifying them. I pulled onto the shoulder. There was a small clearing about 30 feet off the road, some trees for privacy. "Make it quick," I said. Evelyn unbuckled Zena, and they crossed the road toward the tree line. I kept the engine running, watching them in the headlights. Evelyn was holding Zena's hand, walking her behind a large oak tree. That's when I saw it in my side mirror. Headlights, coming up fast behind me, the black SUV. It pulled up and stopped about 50 feet back, just sitting there. Engine running, high beams on, blinding me. I couldn't see through the windshield, couldn't see who was inside. My heart exploded in my chest. "Evelyn!" I screamed out the window. "Get in the car, now!" She turned, confused. "Greg, she's not done. Now, run!" Something in my voice made her grab Zena and sprint back toward the car. I reached over and threw open the passenger door. They were 15 feet away, 10 feet. I turned the key to start the car, clicked it forward. Nothing, dead silence. No, 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 no. "Greg, what's wrong?" Evelyn was at the door now, shoving Zena into the back seat. I popped the hood and jumped out. The battery terminal had come loose again. I could hear the SUV's engine revving behind me. I grabbed my key fob with shaking hands and tried to tighten the terminal. It wouldn't catch. The threads were stripped. "Greg!" Evelyn screamed. I looked up. The SUV's doors were opening. 2 figures stepped out, both wearing ski masks. One of them was holding something, a metal pipe. They started walking toward us. I jammed the key fob down hard on the terminal and twisted it, using all my strength. The metal bit into my palm, drawing blood. I didn't care. I leaned all my weight into it. "Greg, they're coming!" Evelyn's voice was pure terror now. Zena was crying in the back seat. The men were 30 feet away, 20 feet, walking slowly, deliberately. They knew we weren't going anywhere. The terminal caught. I felt it grip. I threw myself into the driver's seat, turned the key, and the engine roared to life. I didn't even close the hood. I slammed the gas pedal to the floor. The car lurched forward. In the rearview mirror, I saw the two men break into a sprint. One of them swung the pipe at our back window. It connected, crack spiderwebbing the glass but not breaking through. I swerved back onto the highway doing 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. The hood was flapping violently, blocking half my view. I didn't slow down. Behind us, the SUV was following again, but I had a lead now. "Call 911, I shouted at Evelyn. Her hands were shaking so badly she could barely hold her phone. I took the next exit at 90 miles an hour, tires screaming. The SUV stayed with us. I blew through 2 red lights. A police car's sirens wailed to life behind me. They must have seen me run the lights. Thank God. I pulled over immediately. The police car stopped behind us, lights flashing. The black SUV drove past slowly, and I got a partial plate, 7K something. Then it disappeared into the night. The officer approached my window, angry, ready to tear into me for reckless driving. Then he saw our faces, saw Zena crying hysterically in the back seat, saw the shattered back window, saw the blood on my hand, saw the hood bent and partially open. "What happened?" he asked. His tone completely changed. I told him everything. He called for backup immediately. They found the SUV abandoned 40 minutes later in a Walmart parking lot. It had been reported stolen 2 days earlier from a church parking lot in San Jose. In the back, they found zip ties, duct tape, a shovel, and 3 rolls of heavy plastic sheeting. The detective told us later that they'd been hitting church parking lots on Christmas Eve for the past 3 years, targeting families, following them, waiting for them to stop somewhere isolated. They had a pattern, a methodology. We fit it perfectly. We were supposed to be their Christmas present to themselves. If that battery terminal hadn't caught when it did, if I'd been 5 seconds slower, we would have been taken. All 3 of us. They would have loaded us into that SUV and driven us somewhere no one would ever find us. We drove straight home the next morning. Didn't even check out of the hotel properly. I sold that car 2 weeks later. Couldn't stand looking at it. Zena still has nightmares. She's 9 now, and she still won't get in a car after dark. Evelyn jumps every time she sees a black SUV. And me. I check my rearview mirror constantly, obsessively, because they never caught the men. The ski masks, the gloves, no fingerprints, no DNA, no witnesses besides us, and it was too dark to see faces. They're still out there, still hunting families on Christmas Eve, still waiting in church parking lots. And every December, when Christmas gets close, I think about how close we came. How those men are probably watching another family right now, following another car, waiting for another battery to die. We haven't celebrated our anniversary since. We can't. Because every time I close my eyes, I see those 2 figures walking toward us in the darkness. And I hear the sound of that pipe hitting our window. We were so close to never going home. This happened to my cousin Derek last October in rural Montana. He was driving cross-country when his transmission started failing. He barely made it to a rest stop, one of those old, half-abandoned places with just bathrooms and vending machines. It was 3 a.m. His car wouldn't restart, no cell service. The rest stop had a payphone, but it was broken. He was completely stranded. He decided to sleep in his car until morning, when hopefully someone would pass by. He locked the doors and reclined his seat. That's when he noticed the RV. It was parked at the far end of the rest stop, lights off. He hadn't seen it when he pulled in. The RV was old, rusted, with blacked out windows. Something about it made his skin crawl. He tried to sleep, but an hour later he heard footsteps. Someone walking on the gravel, circling his car. He peeked through barely open eyes and saw a figure in a dark hoodie, face hidden. The figure stopped at each window, looking in. Then it walked back to the RV. Derek's heart was hammering. He stayed perfectly still, pretending to be asleep. 15 minutes passed. Then he heard it again. More footsteps, but this time there were 2 people, circling his car from opposite directions. He risked opening his eyes slightly. 2 figures now, both in hoodies, both staring at him through different windows. They stood there for 5 full minutes, not moving, just watching him breathe. Then they left again. Derek was terrified to move, to even shift position. He kept his eyes closed, but he wasn't sleeping. He was planning. If they came back, he'd have to make a run for it, even though there was nowhere to go. At 4:30 a.m., he heard a door open, the RV door. Then voices, whispering. He couldn't make out words, but there were at least 3 different voices now. They were discussing something, arguing maybe. The footsteps came back. This time all 3 of them. They surrounded his car. Then one of them tried his door handle, locked. They tried all the doors. Then they tried the trunk. Derek heard them whispering, "We need the keys." One of them pulled out a crowbar. Derek's eyes shot open. They saw him awake, and their energy changed immediately. They started slamming the crowbar against his window. The glass cracked. He turned the key desperately. The engine sputtered but wouldn't catch. They were prying at his door now. The engine caught. He threw it in drive and floored it, transmission screaming in protest. The car lurched forward, and he heard something metal scrape against his fender as they tried to stop him. He didn't look back. He drove 40 miles on that dying transmission before reaching a town. When he finally called the police and they went back to that rest stop, the RV was gone. But they found something else. In the woods behind the rest stop, there were 6 shallow graves, 6 bodies. All men who'd been reported missing along that highway over the past 2 years. Derek's car broke down at the exact same rest stop where they'd been hunting. He sold that car the next week. Wouldn't even sit in it again. He said every time he closed his eyes, he could see those figures standing at his windows, watching him, waiting. I'm Marcus, and I'm 26. Last February, my girlfriend Ashley and I drove from San Diego to Sacramento to catch a Lakers game. We'd been planning this trip for months. Ashley's dad got us courtside tickets for her birthday, and we were beyond excited. We left around 4 p.m. on a Friday. The plan was to drive up Interstate 5, stop in LA for dinner, then continue north and reach Sacramento by midnight. The game was the next evening, so we had plenty of time. Everything was normal until we hit the stretch between Bakersfield and Fresno. It was around 9:30 p.m. The highway was mostly empty, just dark farmland on both sides and the occasional gas station. That's when the engine started making a grinding noise. Ashley looked at me. "What's that sound?" "I don't know," I said. "The car was fine this morning." The grinding got louder. Then the check engine light came on. Then the temperature gauge shot up to red. "We need to pull over," Ashley said. I took the next exit. It led to a small rest stop with a gas station that looked closed. There were 2 security lights on poles and a couple of cameras mounted on the building. 1 bathroom, 1 vending machine. That was it. I parked under one of the lights and popped the hood. Steam poured out. The engine was completely overheated. "Do you have cell service?" I asked. Ashley checked her phone. 1 bar. I tried calling AAA. The call kept dropping. Ashley tried calling her dad. Same thing. "We might have to wait until morning," I said. "There's probably a mechanic in the next town." Ashley nodded, but I could tell she was nervous. The place felt wrong. Too quiet. Too isolated. We sat in the car with the doors locked. I kept trying my phone every few minutes. Around 10:15 p.m., I noticed headlights in the distance. A truck pulled into the rest stop and parked on the far side, away from the lights. It was an old pickup, faded red paint, no license plate on the front. The driver didn't get out. He just sat there, engine running. "Why isn't he moving?" Ashley whispered. "Maybe he's just resting," I said. But I didn't believe that. 5 minutes passed, then 10. The truck didn't move. I could see the outline of someone in the driver's seat, but I couldn't make out any details. Then the truck's headlights turned off. Ashley grabbed my arm. "Marcus, I don't like this." "It's fine," I said. "We're locked in. If anything happens, we drive." "The engine's dead." "It might start. It just overheated." I turned the key. Nothing. Just a clicking sound. That's when the truck door opened. A man got out, tall, wearing a dark hoodie. He didn't walk toward us. He just stood there next to his truck, looking in our direction. "Lock your door," I said. "It's already locked." The man started walking, not toward us exactly, toward the bathroom. He moved slowly, too slowly, like he was taking his time on purpose. He went inside the bathroom and closed the door. "Okay," Ashley said. "Maybe he just needed to use the restroom." "Yeah, maybe." But something felt off. Why park so far away? Why sit in the truck for 15 minutes before getting out? A minute later, the bathroom door opened. The man came out, but instead of going back to his truck, he walked toward our car. My heart started pounding. He came right up to Ashley's window. She screamed. I yelled, "Get away from the car!" He didn't say anything. He just stood there, staring at us. His face was pale. His eyes were dark and sunken. He knocked on the window. "Drive!" Ashley screamed. I turned the key again. The engine sputtered, clicked, nothing. The man knocked again, harder this time. "Start the car, Marcus." I kept turning the key. The man pulled on the door handle. It didn't open. He walked around to my side and did the same thing. Then he went to the back of the car. I looked in the rearview mirror. He was standing behind us, just standing there, not moving. "What is he doing?" Ashley whispered. "I don't know." I tried the engine again. This time it turned over. The car started. I threw it in reverse, but the man didn't move. He just stood there. I honked the horn. He didn't flinch. I reversed around him and floored it toward the exit. As we pulled onto the highway, I looked back. The man was still standing in the same spot, watching us leave. We drove for another 20 minutes until we found a hotel. We didn't stop. We didn't talk. We just drove. The next morning, we called AAA and had the car towed to a shop. The mechanic said the radiator had cracked, but he also said something else. He said there were scratches on the rear bumper, fresh ones, like someone had been prying at the trunk. We checked the security footage later. The gas station sent it to the police. The video showed everything. The man standing by our car, the way he tried the doors, the way he stood behind us. But the worst part was what happened after we left. The man walked back to his truck, opened the tailgate, and pulled out a metal toolbox. We were supposed to stay in Sacramento for 3 days. We drove home the next morning. We never went back to that rest stop, and I still wonder what was in that toolbox. My name is Sarah, and I'm 28. Last January, I was driving home from my sister's house in Ottawa. She'd just had her second baby, and I'd been staying with her for a few days to help out. It was around 11 p.m. when I left. The roads were icy. It had been snowing all day, and the temperature was below freezing. I took Highway 417 back toward my apartment downtown. Traffic was light, just a few trucks and a couple of cars. I was listening to music, trying to stay awake. It had been a long day. About 20 minutes into the drive, I felt the car jerk. Then I heard a loud thud. The steering wheel pulled hard to the left. A blowout. I managed to pull over onto the shoulder. The highway was dark. No street lights. Just my headlights and the red glow of my hazard lights. I got out and checked the damage. The front left tire was completely flat, torn apart. I opened the trunk. I had a spare, but I'd never changed a tire in my life. My dad had always done it for me. I called him. No answer. I called my sister. No answer. I called the way. The wait time was 2 hours. 2 hours on the side of a highway in the middle of winter. I got back in the car and turned on the heat. I figured I'd wait it out. I had half a tank of gas. I'd be fine. Around 11:45 p.m., I saw headlights in the distance. A car pulled up behind me and stopped. It was a black SUV, tinted windows. A man got out. He was wearing a heavy coat and a toque. He walked up to my window. I cracked it open. "You okay?" he asked. "Flat tire," I said. I called for help. "How long's the wait?" 2 hours. He looked at the tire, then at me. "I can help you change it." I hesitated. I didn't know this man, but it was freezing outside and I didn't want to wait 2 hours. "Okay," I said, "thank you." He nodded and went back to his car. He pulled out a jack and a lug wrench. He worked quickly, efficient, like he'd done this 100 times. "What's your name?" he asked as he worked. "Sarah." "I'm Tom." He didn't say anything else, just kept working. After about 10 minutes, he stood up. "All set." "Thank you so much," I said. "Can I pay you?" "No need." He walked back to his car. I felt relieved. I got in and started the engine. I pulled back onto the highway. Tom's SUV followed me. At first, I thought he was just going the same direction. But after 20 minutes, he was still behind me. I changed lanes. He changed lanes. I sped up. He sped up. My stomach tightened. I tried to tell myself I was being paranoid. He had just helped me. Why would he follow me now? But the feeling wouldn't go away. I decided to take an exit, a random one. If he followed me off the highway, I'd know something was wrong. I took the exit. He took the exit. My hands were shaking now. I drove into a residential neighborhood. Quiet streets, no one outside. Tom stayed behind me. I saw a 24-hour gas station ahead. I pulled in, parked under the brightest light I could find. There was a security camera above the pumps. Tom pulled in behind me. He parked right next to my car. He got out. He walked toward my door. I locked it. My heart was pounding. He knocked on the window. "Sarah, open the door." I didn't move. He knocked again, harder. "I just want to talk." I shook my head. His expression changed. The friendly smile was gone. His face was cold, angry. "Open the door," he said again. I pulled out my phone and dialed 911. He saw me and stepped back. He looked at the security camera, then at me. He got back in his SUV and drove away. The police arrived 15 minutes later. I told them everything. They reviewed the gas station footage. Tom's license plate was visible. They ran it. The plates were stolen. The police said there had been other reports. A man offering help to stranded drivers, following them. Some had been robbed. One woman had been assaulted. They're still looking for him. I made it home that night, but I didn't sleep. I kept thinking about how close I came. I don't stop for strangers anymore, and I don't accept help from people I don't know, even when they seem kind.